We are live, Mr. Andy. Yeah, man. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in here. We're actually going to support Fournier, bro. Right, Mr. Andy. That's why I got you on here. You know, we're like one of the main Fournier supporters out there on the internet.
Yes, someone has to do it, right? What up,
Yeah, man.
fam?
Yeah, definitely. So me and you are watching the game together right now, and we're just going to give support. I mean, Fournier is right now in the Euro champion, so I mean that should be a big deal to people out there. But for some reason, it isn't, man. Shout out to Guillermo. You know, Guillermo would never come on the show, probably. You know what I'm saying? But it would be cool to have him on here just to talk basketball. Because I mean, basketball. I mean, this is important, regardless of what you think about like salary and that type of thing. Just the fact that you got a country on your chest, man, that should mean something to somebody.
Yeah, as far as I think, listen, playing for your country, you don't care about the money that you're gonna get paid playing for your national team, and I don't think if you're healthy, I don't think that should be even a case. It shouldn't be a matter of pride, and I think every grown man at those ages, for the senior team, I don't think that should be even a question.
Yeah. So I mean, everything gets a little lost in the sauce when it comes to money. That's what comes with all things, man. So we're definitely here to support our guy here, our guy, Mr. Fournier. I'm gonna try. I had this on the screen. I'm gonna try to get the score up here so people can follow that too. Right now, is that the correct score? 1-2.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, because we got that that links thing on the bottom there. I got to do something about that. Yeah, so we're following along here, man. So so tell us about your day today. You went to go see Poland. So how did that go? You live in Poland, but the game was in actual
Yeah, it was in Berlin in the same gym that the final game is playing. So I was only in the pub watching. So it wasn't like that far of a drive, a
okay.
couple of miles from my place. But listen, going back to the game, I think Germany surprised most of the fans, basketball fans. The tournament, the final stage was played in Germany, but still, I think nobody expected them to get the third place, the bronze medal. Not to mention Poland. I expected Poland to win like two games in the group phase, and
Yeah.
if they, advanced, they would probably get smacked. Meanwhile, they came out of the quarterfinals, and they came into the semifinals, beating Slovenia and Luka Doncic. So that was a shocker for basketball, European world. And listen, they played a great tournament, a little bit, maybe not a little bit, mostly lucky because listen, they didn't have a great team. No player from the NBA. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams, had guys from the NBA. Even Ukraine, which they beat in the quarterfinals, had two guys, Alex Len and Svai Mihailuk, who signed with the Knicks a couple of minutes ago, a partially guaranteed deal. But he didn't shine in that game. And what more, listen, I don't think any even Polish fans expected. I think that was like the top expectation was like they can get out of the group. But since they with the luck of the draw, they made it from the third seed to the second seed from the other group, which was Ukraine. They managed to beat them, and then was Luka Doncic. And I think they had a great tactical game versus Luka. They got him ejected in I think it was late in the third quarter even, because he had two, one unsportsmanlike foul and one technical foul, and that's get you ejected in FIBA basketball. So it was an easier finish for them, but they had a great offensive game versus Slovenia. And I think that was a shocker. You could say that they stopped Luka. I think Luka had like less than 20 points. Meanwhile, he had 40-point games in this tournament.
Yeah.
So I think plenty of NBA teams are going to be scouting that game and how to stop Luka.
Absolutely, man. The bottom line with all that, man, is scouting. Everything that you're saying. We watch
Yeah.
like in the NBA, we watch games that way. So I mean, but I mean, what I'm trying to figure out is like, what is the draw? So if you don't watch this tournament and don't salivate the same way that me and you would salivate over it, then what are you actually watching when you're watching the NBA basketball game? Are you watching basketball or are you watching? What are you watching exactly? What's the draw to the NBA exactly?
Listen, Iro, for me, I'm not expecting every US fan to watch, these European Eurobasket games, right? Because I understand that there's a time difference. Like Guillermo, you said, he doesn't care about, because he thinks that this is a no unranked basically tournament. So he doesn't care about it. Not many NBA players, meanwhile, like 34, 35 NBA players played in this tournament. So so for me, this FIBA Eurobasket actually has an international standard, right? And if US basketball players and Canada players don't want to play for their teams, cool, right? But in Eurobasket, I actually think that basically all the teams rolled out the best rosters. So this tournament was a good basketball tournament. Meanwhile, Knick fans rather see, RJ Barrett train up with Cam, Julius Randle train with Jalen Brunson, and are trying to take more out of those short videos instead of watching, great high level basketball with NBA players and with Knick players, right? So, you know, I don't know why, but this is a thing, that Knicks players do. We saw Fournier now drive,
Did you see
to the
that?
left side, yeah, and
Yeah.
and he got past the Spanish defense smoothly.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, to put some context into that, they had to come out to him. The center pushed him out a little further, crossover dribble, drive really hard on the left hand baseline. Being guarded by basically the whole team. Nice little, controlled shot with English.
yeah,
Nice and easy, man.
yeah, and not to mention, I watch every France game, right? And I think they're still not clicking really well. As I expected better basketball from that team. But listen, they managed to get into the finals, so what you want more, right?
Yeah,
We saw that Fournier speech after, I think it was a Hungary game. They won that game, but he was calling out his teammates, asking them, why did they come here if we're, playing so bad basketball that we basically won, by 5 versus Hungary or something like that. So
yeah.
he was calling out his fans in that clip, from what I noticed and what I got. So
You know what's funny about that
listen.
clip? I heard him talking with us. My wife's Haitian, so I was hanging out with the in laws. So I said, Mama, look, check this out. Tell me what he's saying. She's listening. She's oh, he's mad. Oh,
Yeah,
he's very mad. And she was listening to him. She had to listen to it a couple times because he said just his passion was she was trying to get around his passion so she could really find out what he was trying to say to explain it in English. But just from that alone, man, that the passion alone, just to get to let everyone know that listen, man, you're here for a reason. That this is real. Play your best. You should feel bad that you lost the other day. You should feel bad that you didn't show up.
yeah,
Because you're playing for way more than just like little superficial things, man.
yeah, exactly. And listen, as far as I see it, it's really, really a type of a situation that these European teams and players care to play for their nation. Listen, nobody said Luka has to come to play for Team Slovenia. That Jokic has to come to play. Giannis has to come to play. Listen, all of three those guys got maybe not injured, but they were beaten up after the group phase. Luka was playing on one leg. Giannis was playing on one leg. Jokic, you can't figure him out because he is always, looking a little bit uncoordinated. so, so it's hard to to see that, but you could see that he was tired after the group phase. That's why, listen, that's why star teams, they didn't manage to to advance to the finals games. I think France and Spain actually might have like the most evened out team. France has a couple of guys from the NBA, but the rest of the squad is basically playing in the EuroLeague, which is top notch competition.
Mhm.
Same with Spain. They got plenty of guys that play in top level teams here in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's not like they just picked up guys like Luka. I'm not not no offense to Slovenia, but they have like 3-4 players, and the rest is, you can say it's a step down, right? Meanwhile, France has like 10 guys that can easily just get on the court and ball. So
Yeah, speaking of which, man, ball that shot that you saw just now, it
Yeah,
was in the NBA that would have been an and one. They would have had the referees looking at the video. You know, they would have been talking about fining and suspension, all that just for that one little play just now because he cut his
yeah,
legs off. It's a It's the game itself is just called differently, here
yeah,
too. So I think that's
yeah,
another draw too, because people they think they know the game, but once the rules have changed a little bit, I don't want to watch that because they allow them to do that. That's bullshit, bro. But I mean, it's still basketball. You can get around those little nuances or whatever, and then you really could see who knows what they're looking at, and also too just see who really could play. Because no matter how the rules change, it still put the ball in the hoop. Still play defense mano a mano.
yeah. And yeah, listen, there's like you said, it's nuances to the game. For example, the FIBA took out the take foul, so it's not like
Yeah,
you can just grab a guy in half and stop the fast break. For that in FIBA, there's like two free throws and the ball from the side, so every take foul is literally stupid
yeah,
for for in these games. And you can see that the NBA players in the group phase, they really forgot about that.
yeah,
When they screwed up, they just grabbed the guy, just to stop the fast break, and there was like, and they were shocked. They were shocked because they it was like, how do you say that? They didn't realize that it's going to be that after just committing the foul. It was like, oh damn, I forgot. So that's a thing that probably NBA is going to implement. If it's going to be two free throws and the ball from the side. I don't know how Adam Silver is going to accept that, if it's going to be only maybe one free throw and then the possession, or just the possession. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, because just the possession is the current ruling, right?
yeah,
So I'm guessing it's going to be a free throw um and the possession. So
yeah. I'm getting into the game here, man.
yeah,
Number seven just caught an outlet on pass there.
yeah, Buzella, that dude plays for Real Madrid,
Yeah,
with Vincent Poirier. The he signed for the Knicks for a couple of minutes. He changed his Twitter,
that's the
info,
same
and then
guy.
they
That's the same guy
traded
the
him.
Knicks had. Number
Yeah,
seven.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to
No, no,
figure
no,
out.
no, no. That's not the same guy. The Poirier is on the bench. That's the light skinned dude with the beard. He's gonna come in
Right.
in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, but Yabusele, he killed Poland. He almost scored like 30 points on the Polish national team in the semifinals, and Poland got beat by 41 by France.
Yeah.
So that was but listen, they had great tactics versus Poland. They took out the main playmakers, ball handlers, and Poland looked like a junior team out there on the court. They couldn't do anything. So
Yeah. That's what's taken away from professional sports a lot too, is just the strategy of it. So
yeah,
just the way that they play, this the little changes. Now you have to change the strategy. Now you have to approach these games in that way, because this is basically an all star game. All star games for each country, really.
yeah,
So there's nobody, like, somebody has to do the dirty work. Somebody has to do the little things. So everybody can't be a star when you're playing like this. Especially when things are at stake. So now you really have to strategize. In the NBA, you might have got 20 shots a game. This one you might not even play 20 minutes. It's a whole different
yeah.
thing here. So
True,
from a
true,
from
true,
a
true.
coach's standpoint, I would love it because from a coach's standpoint, now you're looking at it different. I can't rely on a guy to, okay, I'm going to give all the shots to this guy. He's just going to bail me out because I'm a freaking trash coach. You really have to look at the other team and figure out how you're going to attack them, and attack the
Yeah.
rules too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's that's the difference between the international game and all. Now Fournier, drove to the he faked out the dude, drove to the baseline from the left side. He missed the shot, but he got fouled.
But did you see
So
how he got to the basket? That is something that he can really do in the NBA. He's done that throughout his career, but it's like a narrative out there that, oh, we need to just get Fournier off the team, and he sucks. All he does is shoot and this, that, and the other. Oh, he plays harder when he goes over there. Not really, because what's 17, what's 17 3-3 in the NBA? That's a decent NBA basketball player. He did that for 6 years straight, I want to say, in the NBA. And he went to the playoffs and stuff like that. So the things that you see in Europe, he's been doing that through his whole career.
yeah, and listen, I understand that Nick fans I don't know why they expected more from him because his role changed. Because even in Orlando, listen, he was playing with Nikola Vucevic, and he was probably the second guy because I don't think Aaron Gordon is he was like above on the totem pole of the pecking order or something like that.
Yeah,
I think Fournier was the second guy. Meanwhile, even on the Knicks, he was behind Randall, behind RJ, right?
right,
So why are you guys expecting him to score like 20 points and and stuff like that? Meanwhile, they used him just as a shooter. Meanwhile, you can see that he can create, and it's not only on the FIBA courts.
right.
He could do that in the NBA because he played pick and roll with Vucevic his whole, maybe not whole career, but most of his career, right?
Yeah,
So I don't get it. No, the defense, of course, he has flaws on defense because he's slower on his feet, right? So he's gonna get beat. But let's not act like nobody else on the team gets beat. Now you
right.
see on Team France number 17, that's Vincent Poirier. That's the guy that the Knicks had. Um, the Knicks had
Well, we
a
had him
little bit,
very
yeah, for a
briefly.
couple of minutes, yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He just got a little age on him, right? He's like,
No, no, he's like 27, I think. But he played for the Celtics, and then they made some kind of a trade to make the salaries work,
right,
and they let him go so he could play for in Europe.
right. He's good though. There's one thing about France that I like their big men too. They have another guy here, number 93. He impressed me a lot too. I think one of the
Yeah,
games I was watching, he
M-
drove baseline and hooked the guy and then dunked it on the opposite side. I was like, wow.
yeah, Mustafa Fall. Listen, I think for the NBA, he's not that mobile, but he's a big man. He's a big body under the hoop. So
Yeah. So when you were saying about Fournier about just like the defense and stuff like that, like NBA, like why does it have to be lockdown defender? Why does it have to go from he's trash or he has to be a lockdown defender? Why does it have to? Why does that language always have to just destroy? To me, language like that destroys all basketball conversation. Like just now, I'm listening to. I love to hear you talk basketball, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when you do your thing, I love fucking hearing that shit. But like having that conversation the way that you're talking about the game itself, like it just takes away from it because it's like you piss on the whole conversation. He can't go on nobody like that. What the hell is that? That destroys the entire conversation.
yeah, and listen, I understand that fans don't like his defense, right? But he's more of a team defender. You gotta, the team defense has a scheme. He knows what to do. He knows that he's gonna, cut the passing lanes. Not, of course, he tries to defend his man, right? It's not like he doesn't have to do that. Of course, he has to do it, right? But if you know that the defensive player has flaws, you try to hide them,
Yeah,
right? And it's not like I said, it's not only on Fournier. It's not like he's the worst defender on the team.
yeah,
And listen, they're going to be worse guys on teams and rotations that when he plays. So I don't get it.
yo. Shout
I
out to
just
Trey Young. They went and signed a whole another point guard just to
yeah,
hide Trey Young on defense.
exactly.
Keep
So
that a buck, right? Keep that a hundred. So it's not just Fournier. There's other teams in the NBA. They do the same thing. You just hide the guy. You
yeah,
know, but at the same time, you have to utilize the other guy's strengths on the opposite end, or else it doesn't work. You know.
yeah. Yeah, you try to play to the strengths of the of the players that you have, but question is if you're going to build a team and Fournier is going to be that piece, probably not. But
Right.
I think for him to stretch the floor with Julius, with RJ, I think he's basically indisposable.
Yeah. So I mean, my man, East Blue. Shout out to the chat, whoever's popping in. It's very weird. It's like, oh, they doing a watch along for the France game. Yes, motherfucker. I don't care about stuff like all the algorithms because I am destroying my algorithms. Like YouTube don't know what I'm doing right now. But anyway, I'm doing a France watch along because our guy Evan Fournier for the Knicks is playing here. But he says here that Evan would be a great six man off the bench. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but who are your starters? So that means that you're believing in a fantasy somewhere because you're talking about either Cam Reddish starting at the three or you're talking about Quentin Grimes starting at the two. Two fantasies, two guys that has not yet to prove anything in the NBA. You're going to count on those guys to be starters and have a guy that's already proved 29 years old, been in the NBA for about 10 years now. They already proved what he can do, but he will be a great six man off the bench. You see the mentality that we're dealing with.
Yeah, and Euro, for me, it's not even, I'm not keeping him in the starting lineup for anything, right? Question is someone else gonna fit with Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Mitch Robinson
Right.
better than Evan Fournier? That's the question. Because fans are gonna say, "Oh, Quentin Grimes is a better defender." Yeah, but if you're thinking that he's going to shoot as well as Fournier, then you got to think, listen, he's going to have probably less touches. And with Julius Randle, Brunson and RJ, he's going to be the fourth guy on the totem pole of the scoring charts, right? So, question is, why not keep the younger player on the bench so he can have those touches when he comes off the bench?
Right.
So you're just kind of holding him back a little bit. So that's also the thing. I think developing younger guys probably is better with other young guys. Of course, you can mesh in a vet here and there, but I don't think Tibbs is gonna roll out like five guys off the bench. I
Yeah.
think it's always gonna be at least one of those guys high on the totem pole that's gonna be on them with the court, so on the court with them. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, I think that's gonna be the case.
What?
I'm going to just point out, look at the guy that plays with number 9, I think, on Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one. Yeah,
Diaz.
Diaz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bro, this guy has defense and he plays so low on his, legs that
Yeah.
you're going to be shocked.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's an old school guy, kind of guy. I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of Euro. I've been watching a lot of replays too, because it just
Yeah.
crazy. Like the time that they come on is weird. So I always try to watch replays because these games have been good. Like I'm salivating to watch basketball, bro. So watching.
Yeah.
He's playing defense now. See, as soon
Yeah.
as he as
See.
soon as he got there, right down in the saddle, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So he's awesome. I'm not going to lie that he is literally a pest on defense.
Yeah. That's the essence of Spain basketball too. They just got another steal. They like to get into the pass lanes. They like to go for steals and they like to push the fast break. They have like that's just a gritty fast breaking style of game. Spain. That's why
Yeah.
they've been winning a lot because their game is kind of like similar to like the USA game. With the defense of running fast break. But the reason why they sometimes come ahead of the United States because they play a better team game.
Yeah, and you not to mention that this Spain team, it's like totally rebuilt. The like only two Hernan Gomez brothers are from the previous FIBA games, and Rudy Fernandez, of course, because he's like the vet of the team.
Yeah.
But the rest of these guys are new. Diaz plays the first FIBA tournament. Garuba plays, I think maybe he was on the roster, but he never played. Now he gets minutes. The rest of the guys are basically new, so they're new to the team, new to the whole organization. So this is a young rebuilded team that Spain Spain put out here, and I'm surprised that they came that far. I wasn't expecting them to I expected them to win the group maybe and even get out of the semifinals, but they made it to the finals, so that's awesome for them.
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to add this his next comment here. He says Evan was getting ate up in the fourth quarter. So I mean just not to even read about that. We just talked about that whole thing. There's a way to get away with that, and then also too if you're building like we're talking about strategy. We've been talking about nothing but strategy since you've been on here. So I mean strategy. If you have Brunson there, you got Julius there, you got RJ. Those are your main guys going to be trying to get the points there. So who is the shooter that's going to get the ball, in those situations when the other guys are doing the heavy ball handling? Who's going to be the veteran shooter that's going to be able to fill in the blanks there? You know what I'm saying? We're going to have Mitchell Robinson, who's supposed to be the defensive guy that's going to guard all five positions that everybody keeps saying. So if he could do that, so then we can deal with the veteran like Fournier to be there, to fill in the blanks, not be worried about when his shot is coming. He's going to be focused. That's him. You could trust him to do that, so he could be that fifth wing in the starting lineup. Like you
Yeah.
said, a guy like Grimes and Cam, they can get off on the bench once they get subbed in. They can get off, playing against the second unit. So I mean, that's strategy right there. You know.
Yeah. Listen, it all depends on the, also on the philosophy that you have. I don't think you need five guys that can score on the court because there's only one ball on the court. So I don't think you need five shooters. Of course, if you're gonna have, listen, I think Brunson, RJ, and Julius, they are scorers, but they're not definitely need shooters, right? And I think shooters make this court wide open. So if you're gonna, try to emulate your offense based on Brunson, Julius, and RJ, it's gonna be basically hero ball all year because they can't spread the floor if they're not gonna have a guy that can do that for them. Then it's gonna be a problem because we're gonna be seeing the game on the offensive end what we saw last season. And of course, adding Brunson helps the team because he's the ball handler and he might set up the offense a little bit better. But it still not might not be perfect. So because it might be tight, teams are gonna just fall back to the paint and they're gonna know because there's no shooters on the court that even if it's one, right? I don't think one shooter in the NBA stretches the floor for you.
Right.
So but we're gonna see what Tibbs is gonna do with the offense. So
Yeah. So a guy like Mitchell Robinson, right? Everybody wants him to shoot threes. He wants to shoot threes. He wants to go between the legs, around picks, and all kind of stuff. But I'm mentioning that too because just to play just before that, you saw what's this guy? The center Gobert. Gobert, they got him playing a lot at the top of the key, top of the 3-point line, and
yeah,
then they have the little guys on the inside fighting for position to get post. It's a fucking weird. It's weird, man. It's weird watching
yeah,
that. But like if Mitchell Robinson had court awareness where he can make those plays like that. That's what makes Fournier serviceable because just now he was able to find a shooter there. But Mitchell Robinson, when he gets it, he's either trying to dunk it. If he can't dunk it, he has nothing else to give you.
yeah,
That's the difference between say like a Goldberg and a Mitchell Robinson.
yeah. So listen, that's people say that Mitch has the skill set of Rudy Gobert. Yeah, for basically the NBA thing,
Right.
probably so because they don't run the offense through Rudy. Meanwhile, here in the FIBA games, you see that he can get the ball high on the court, up the court, and he can make a pass to the corners to the to stretch it out or under the hoop even for the
Yeah.
smaller guys. You know,
Two straight plays. Right now, it seem like they're featuring him. They got Rudy Gobert right at the top of the key,
yeah,
setting picks,
with the
but he's
high
still.
screen,
Yep.
yeah.
You see him there. He's like available to get the ball at the free throw line. See, nice little spin, but he can't finish. He is trash. Goldberg
Yeah.
is trash though. But I mean,
Yeah, but
just
they're hacking him because they know that he's a weak free throw shooter, so they're hacking him hard.
that's the thing with that. Yep. But look at this play right here at the free throw line. He was able to spin. That's what we want Mitch Robinson to spin, take two shots, and go up and score that ball. And if you can't make the pass, the interior pass to your guys. So that's basketball. But the thing with Mitchell Robinson, once he gets the ball, he's not doing that. He's not making a simple pivot and turning around to lay the ball up. He's not doing that at all.
True. So,
Yeah.
and I don't see that that being a thing that Mitch can like develop because that's gonna take years, literally years. So I rather Mitch stick to what he can do now and perfect that instead
Yeah.
of work on his 3-point shot and
And catching the ball, faking, come back, on the defense and then cross over and go into the. What is that about, man? That
yeah.
drives me
He
completely
doesn't have a go-to post move, so
right.
it's like
But just simple what we just saw of Gobert. He caught the ball at the free throw line. All he did was simply turn around, pivot, and drive to the basket. Mitchell can't do that. He cannot.
yeah,
He cannot do that.
yeah, exactly. So no, that's a problem. So
Counter argument with that. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau's holding him back." that drives me nuts too, man. Because it just dismisses everything. When you make comments like that, it dismisses everything.
listen, and some guys are gonna believe that's the truth, right? And it's hard to argue with other fans when they have their ideas and I'm not in the argument to try to change someone's mindset.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to show them that there might be something else about it. Not
Yeah,
only your point of view is the point of view that every fan sees, right?
yeah.
So I think it's worth listening at least to other fans and other perspectives and views
Tell
and
me
stuff
about
like that, right? So
it. Yeah. Like you was at the pub, right? Hanging out watching the polling game. So I'm quite sure there's somebody there talking whatever. So, but listen, bro, check this out, right? And then like you just say simple like that, and you point something out to him. Oh shit, I never thought of that. Or somebody might, they might get what you're saying, but they just and then you just have that conversation. That's how it should be. That's how it should be, and you get to know guys that way. But I mean, just the fact that this, I guess this is the world that we live in now. Just to I just want to get it out, and then somebody else,
yeah,
but yeah, I agree with you. So that's all you need is just a couple guys to agree with the nonsense, and no one's gonna listen. No one's gonna listen to that. Hey man, yo, check this out. You ever peep this? Watch what he does with the ball. Like nobody takes a second to do that. Everything is
yeah,
pop 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 pop. That's not fun to me. That's when it doesn't get fun. Yeah. So I mean, Sherman's here hanging out too. My man is still here. I'm not dismissing none of y'all. Yeah, we're not dismissing you either, man. But he just disagrees about Fournier. I mean, it's like a hard stance on his defense. His defense sucks. That is it. That's all I gotta say. And it kind of takes away from the whole conversation.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So far, so good. I think the not France, Spain had got out early, so it kind of like messed
Yeah,
up
and
the
they
game.
got hot. They
Yeah,
got hot, man. They're making literally every shot. So
yeah,
so
but
this guy might be looking like it's gonna end at halftime,
mhm,
but I'm not so sure about it.
yeah.
So
Right now they're just trading baskets really because from ever since France started really coming on, they've been trading buckets. It's been an entertaining
yeah,
basketball game so far. But I think that beginning part kind of messed them up a little.
yeah. And listen, they're making threes. Juancho Herman Gomez had like two threes. And basketball is a rhythm game, and when one team comes into the mid,
Wow,
see now the third one, the guy on the fast break previous possession made a three from the wing. So Spain is on fire now. Meanwhile, France has to make a bucket. So they're gonna get closer a little bit. So the game wasn't over at halftime.
oh my
It's
god,
looking is man, it's looking bad for France, like really bad. But like I said, they really are playing bad basketball throughout this tournament, but they made it to the finals.
yeah,
So at one point of the game, they can catch fire too.
yeah,
It's like in the NBA. This is NBA talent, on the court. So it's like two threes, in a row. Someone's gonna make a bucket for two, then two threes, and the game is back on.
yeah.
So
As you were talking just now, they did a full court press. It was I believe number 9 and number 21 full court press. They almost stripped number 21, almost stripped the guy in the backcourt.
yeah,
They was able to get it across, but then number 9 came. Was it number 0 or number 9? One of the guys. It might have been number 0. He comes over and he helps out as well, and then they made a defensive stop. So if you love basketball, you're gonna find what you're gonna look for. In these European games, man. You know.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Listen, it might look a totally different basketball, but listen, for example, Spain's coach, Scolario, whatever you want to pronounce his name, he was an assistant coach for the Raptors for
Yeah.
several years.
Yeah.
So he was in the league and noticed that and did. And listen, the Raptors played the Spain pick and roll, and fans are going to say that that's an old play. Yeah, that's an old play, but it's known from Europe. It
Yeah.
wasn't invented in the States because it would be called, I don't know, the Idaho pick and roll. It's called the Spain pick and roll, right?
Right.
So it's clearly, got worked on in Spain. And I think, there's plenty of nuances even in the NBA game that got, implemented from the international game, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a beautiful melting pot of basketball. Basketball is amazing, bro. It's amazing.
yeah,
I had got a couple culture shocks throughout my playing career when I was younger. I used to play ball all the time. But I used to work at NYU, that's the same place State works now. But when I was younger, I worked there. So I'm talking about maybe like 19, 20 around there. So I used to pull up right by the Midtown Tunnel. There's a basketball court there. So I used to go there all the time just to shoot around because it's kind of like off the path, and I'm not really going to be seen there because I used to be playing basketball and I'm supposed to be working, that type of thing. So I used to go over there. So a lot of the people from the UN used to go there and play. So I used to catch all people from all over the world, and they would just pop up there and play basketball. And I used to know it. I was like a gym rat there. I used to always go there, to hang out in the park and stuff. So I remember like going there, and it was like for like maybe like 3 months. These Lithuanian guys popped up, man. And when I tell you they was busting my ass, man, but they was doing stuff that I just never seen people do before. Like the
Yeah,
splitting the defense and
yeah,
just the way that they play, man.
yeah, they changed the tempo. It looks for United States guys, it looks unnatural, right? Because
Yeah,
you're thinking, okay, he's going left, so he's going to try to go hard. Meanwhile, he does that drop step, pump fake, whatever, and you're like, oh, regularly, you're convinced that the guy is going to do this because this is natural, what you see every day, right?
yeah,
Meanwhile, these dudes do it totally different, but it's effective, so they're going to use it.
yeah. Yeah, and Lithuanian guys are smooth too, man. Like when like
Yeah.
that's the way that they speak, that their whole culture is very smooth. So I remember, I'm from New York, Brooklyn, that era. So this is like early 2000 I'm talking about. So we still had our thing where we go to the basket. So everything I'm doing is dribbling, 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 going hard to the basket, kind of trying to bully them type of thing. And they will have conversations with me. But listen, I like what you do. It's very, very nice. But why don't you do this? So, they explain to me like, just slow it down 1 second, and then they used to show me the little nuances the way that they play, just their natural way that they play, and they did help me out a lot, to just to see the game a little from a different eye, so
Yeah.
that's what makes this, so incredible to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, and listen, a fun fact on when you're talking about the international thing, Lithuania, France, and if I'm correct, Serbia. They are the three teams in this Eurobasket that don't have an American player. They didn't give an American player a passport so he can play for their national team, right? Even Spain has this guy Lorenzo Brown that literally just took a shot, number 8.
Yeah,
He's a US born player. They just gave him a passport so he can play for their team.
right,
But those three teams, like the players, said that they don't want the federation to give a passport for a player to play and take out minutes from their nation players.
right.
So listen, Lithuania lost to Spain, and Lorenzo Brown had a great game. He literally eliminated them in the overtime. So they lost maybe because of that.
Right.
As simple as that, right? Most of these teams, the nationalities, like I said, Serbia, they have the talent. Spain has the talent, even at the point guard position, but they're still having guys, with passports. At least on Luka and Slovenia, they had, once a Nick, always a Nick, Anthony Randolph. He didn't play in this Eurobasket. I think the Toby, some guy named Toby, was playing with the passport as the one naturalized player. But they have Anthony Randolph has a Slovenian passport, and he would play, but he torn his ACL in the season, so he's out for this Eurobasket.
Yeah.
But there's literally only a couple of countries that players said that they don't want an American player playing with them on the national squad. And listen, for example, Poland, they have also AG Slaughter, and from one perspective, it's cool because it ups the sports level and stuff like that. But when you look at before the game, they play the national anthems, and the dude is literally doesn't understand anything. The coaching staff has to speak English. 12 people speak Polish, but you gotta understand it in English because the one player has to understand what's going to be played, right?
Right.
And most of the time he's, if not the best, he's high up top, as far as the best player there, because that's why they take him for the national team, right?
Yeah.
So that thing is kind of weird, but I still think listen, for international basketball, I think it's good, because if US would use top 15 players in these tournaments versus any other country top 15 players, probably the game should be even close.
Right.
But U.S. Team, for example, for this American Cup, they America Cup, they lost to Argentina in the semifinals, and I think they won only the bronze medal. But they had a really weak team compared to what they could put on the court, right?
Yeah, they got Cole. That guy
Yeah,
Cole
no,
is good.
Norris Cole, the
Yeah,
former Heat player. They got Judy Meeks, the 76ers shooting guard, which he retired
yeah,
after this tournament. So yeah, but listen, Argentina came out balling. They had Gabriel Deck, the one that played in OKC, Facundo Campazzo that played with Denver,
right.
several other
They
players
didn't
that
have
had
Delfino
history.
too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
listen, Carlos Defino is like 47, so he played only because they probably needed a player, and there wasn't anyone better, right?
right.
But listen, the previous FIBA tournament, they played Luis Scola, and he was balling,
Yeah,
on that team.
I
So
love Luis Scola, man. Luis Scola
yeah,
is the man. I love that dude.
that you couldn't slide a piece of paper under him when he was taking a shot, but he was still fooling all the centers in the NBA around. So
Yeah,
well, he didn't get any lift,
yeah.
but he
But
had a career for himself. So
right. Well, you're talking about the passport stuff. That it kind of irks me too, because I mean, if I was playing for the United States and let's say like they gave like Giannis a passport or something like that, I'd be pissed off that he was playing, for the United States. It's like, yo, man, get out of here. You're not from the United States. Go play somewhere else. You know?
yeah, but listen, that's the for Team US, I would understand it, right? Because the 15 guy is still a great guy that he can assemble a squad, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, sometimes this one player gets you into that tournament, gets you into the qualifications and stuff like that. So other countries would literally wouldn't be in the tournament, in the games. But thanks to that one player,
Right.
they can still play ball, and they can develop their sport in that country. So I think it's of course it has limitations and stuff like that, but I still think worldwide it's good.
Yeah. But one thing, like let's say if there's like a career journeyman that's always played in Europe or always played for Spain or whatever. So there's one guy, his name is Bobby Jackson. I just popped not Bobby Jackson, Bobby Brown. His name is Bobby Brown. He's a famous point guard that he's from LA. He has his own thing in the summer leagues here in the States, but he plays, during the season he plays European basketball. So I mean, so if he was to get like a shot to be a starting point guard for Spain or something like that, I would understand it because he's always played over there, so that to me, if I lived over there, I wouldn't feel so bad, so much.
Yeah, but Iru, they also have, it's like these countries, like for example Spain, Poland, they're not just giving away passports, right? For example, the guy that plays for the Polish national team, he has a wife that's Polish,
Okay.
and he was like, he had to be, you have to be married for like for in some countries even 5 years
Hmm.
before you can apply for the passport. So you're
Wow.
tied with that country. It's not like, oh, the coach says, listen, I need a shooting guard that can make threes. It's going to be this and this high. Let's pick the guy and let's call him if if he's going to take the citizenship or the passport, right?
Right.
So it's not like that. First they got to find the wife, and then
Yeah. Could you
they
imagine
got
that?
to wait a couple of years, and then they're going to give you a
The
passport.
coach just pass around his daughter and stuff. Hey, marry my
Yeah,
daughter, man. Come
yeah,
play for my
yeah,
team.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
Speaking
So
of NYU, man, a couple times there, I got solicited to do that, man. Could you imagine that? Hey, marry my daughter so we could bring her over here, give her a visa. You could do anything you want to her. Just marry her. I'll give you some money. Can you imagine that?
yeah, bro, I had a situation in my family as well, that I had an uncle that he went to the States, but he went on a touristic visa, right? So if he wanted to stay, he had to tell all these stories that he fell in love and he got married, he got the papers and they did divorce the next week, and and the lady that was doing that, she was like married like the seventh time.
Oh
seven
my god.
seven guys got the passport, and she divorced them after they got the paperwork done, and and to the next dude, and it costed like $10,000 for the passport, something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, but nowadays maybe it's a little bit better because Poland doesn't need visas to go to the States, at least for touristic, things. Meanwhile, a couple of years back, we still needed visas to go to the States, and applications like almost $200, and they just checked up, did like a background check, and they could deny you. And even if you got the visa, the guy on the working on the airport, the custom guy, he could like just say, ask you for what time you got the passport, the ticket, and he could be like, nah, you're gonna be like, I agree for you to enter the States for like 2 weeks, and you
Right.
gotta the flight back in a month.
Right.
So he could just cross over your whole plan and stuff. So
Yeah, it's not
listen,
so simple. It's not as
yeah,
simple.
not so simple.
Yeah. But it's so simple. Shout out to East Blue. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. I appreciate you giving us some stuff to talk about here. But he's talking about how much points Evan got. But it's not. It's a team sport. It's not really about that. To me that's the NBA, American mentality. Like how much this guy got. How much he got. Yeah, but look at the score. They were losing by 20 right now. As we're talking, I know you're watching. I'm watching too. It's actually been a really good game. France has been chipping away. Now the score is 47-37. Your boy Fournier just drove down the lane, made a nice little move, drove all the way to the lane, two-handed dunk, to force Spain to call a timeout. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he
about
has 11 points
yeah,
if that's the situation. So
yeah. If you want to know if he does he have 40 points, does he need to get 40 points? He's not that guy. He's not that guy that's going to get 40 points. But when it comes to like team basketball, you can win with this guy as especially on this level as your leader or one of your leaders. It could happen. You know.
and it's like you said, it's a team game. So I don't think whole nation of France is depending only on Evan Fournier. They know that they got plenty of guys on their roster that can score, that can rebound and stuff like that. Everybody has to do their job on the team, and let's hope that the shot is going to be falling and they're going to get the W,
Yeah.
as far as the French nation goes.
And then what matters? The W, right? You can figure everything else out. You can during the
Yeah.
game, defense and all the individual stuff. You can figure all that stuff out. But as long as you get the W, who cares, bro? You know. Like Sherman brings up a point here. Obi Toppin. People want Obi Toppin to start. They want Julius out of here too. But if you want to talk about something as simple as defense, Obi Toppin it will get cooked by the majority of the NBA power forwards out there.
Yeah.
So
And
nobody
listen,
wants to talk
it's
about
not
that.
only Obi Toppin. Listen, when you look at the numbers, I'm not gonna argue that he's a better defender than RJ,
Right.
but some numbers actually indicate that. And I understand that they might be skewed, but like I said, it's a team game. So sometimes Fournier has a better steal number, he has a better block number than RJ, and there was one like more number that he's better. Meanwhile, RJ is a better defender because he falls back on the glass. Meanwhile, Fournier releases to the up the court. So it's a team game. It's a basketball philosophy of the coach. Sometimes the players would do this or that, but the coach says, I want you to do this.
Right.
And listen, the coach is the man on the team. If you're not going to listen, you ain't going to be having playing time.
Yeah.
So you can blame some things on the coach, probably missing shots, even shots, right? I think the shot selection is mostly on the players, but if he's not going to get a play drawn up for him, then that shot selection is going to be way worse, as
Right.
as far as I see it. So
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Kevin Taylor. I got him up here. He's like the comment all star, at least on my channel. He comments a lot. I appreciate him. We were kind of going back and forth a little bit. I got distracted because there's a couple things I wanted to get back with him in the comments, but I appreciate you jumping in with the comments, man. I think he's like probably like the best commenter that I have going on here. But he's talking about experience and that type of thing. So all that comes into account as well too. I mean, because who do you trust? Like Fournier, me and you've talked about it before. He is a really good team defender. That's one thing that nobody talks about. Yes, one on one. If we had a one on one tournament, he'll probably lose because he can't guard guys one on one like that. But if you like, we're talking about the team concept. Him playing within whatever the scheme is that Tom Thibodeau has, he's very adequate at that. He's very good at getting in the passing lanes. Just reading, closing guys off. doing his job that he's asked to do. In a team concept, he's very good at that. So you can hide a guy as long as that he's active and following the scheme. You can hide a guy like that. You know?
Yeah, and listen, sometimes it's you have to hide him on one side of the court, but maybe on the other one, he's going to be like the shining star, right?
Yeah.
For example, listen, what's up with Mitch? He's a great defensive player, but on the offensive end, you can tell him, listen, just stand, stay back on the defensive end. We can play 4 and 5.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything on the offensive end. So,
Essentially, that's what he does too, right?
yeah. So, he goes under the hoop sometimes, gets an offensive rebound, but it's not like they drawing up a play for him or even
Yeah.
using him in those plays. He's literally just not even a decoy, because a decoy needs to have something in his offensive bag, right? So,
Right.
so he's like the fifth guy that's gonna, trot up the court, and
Yeah, you're right about that. A guy can't be a decoy if he can't do anything.
yeah, if he can't do anything, right? So
Yeah.
at least we know on a smart defense, right? I'm not gonna react, to your moves or your play, because they ain't gonna pass you the ball even. So why bother?
Yeah. And when you get
So
it, nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna turn around, look to give it up because you have nothing to
yeah,
give. Nothing to give. Shout out to East Blue. I see the smiley face. Hey man, there's no thing. We just talking basketball, kicking it. That's what it's about. Enjoying the game and stuff. So they're actually at halftime right now. So this is 47-37 at halftime.
yeah.
Want to check out some of these box scores and stuff? Because I'm looking at this. I'm trying to keep it Euro. So I guess you can still see it here. It's a little bit too big for my eyes. My eyes are killing me right now. But what does this box score say to you? This is Spain here, I think, right? Spain.
Yeah, listen. So at Spain, you got to watch the 3-point percentages. I'm guessing that's going to be a high clip on those shots, because listen, 150%, 50%. Most of the guys that have look at Bo Cruz here, 6 for 7.
Yeah, that's Honcho, right?
Yeah, Juancho Hernan Gomez, 6 for 7. That's 18 points from the 47 points, guys.
Yeah.
That's the game here.
Yeah.
And he only took, look at the field goal percentage. He only took those 7 threes.
Yeah.
He didn't make a bucket, and it's only in 10 minutes of game, right?
Yeah.
Listen, 18 points of the Spanish team, and France is up by 7, by 9.
Yeah.
So
to me, that 6 for 7 is a little bit drawn out, because he's the big man. He's like 6'10" or something. But that's the same guy.
He plays the power forward, small forward, power forward position
Right.
on the national team, right? But listen, he took 7 threes. He didn't even trot up the under the hoop.
Look
he
at
just
the
got
rebounds.
pulled up for 3, and that's all, right?
Yeah,
So
he has 1 rebound. He has like no blocks.
yeah,
It's crazy. It's not, man. All that's interesting, man. It's just a different style of basketball. And like I said, context. We always talk about context and stuff like that. Context is everything, because, like you said, excuse me, if he went 3 for 7, the game is different.
yeah.
Now you're talking about what is it?
9 points minus, and you're talking about a tie ball game. So
Hello.
yeah, and the same thing can happen for France on the in the second half, right? Someone can catch fire. It's going to be 2-3 threes, and we're back. So
yeah, and if you look at it that way too, France is actually playing really good basketball right now. They're playing very hard defense. They're playing really good defense. Team basketball. So they in theory, if they come out playing the way that they were playing in that second quarter there, they should be able to make this a game. Definitely.
yeah.
These are some of the box score here. They got a couple players here. Theo Baldwin, is he playing at all? I didn't see
No,
it.
he played versus Poland, but that was like garbage time minutes, right? So he didn't play literally the whole tournament. So, and listen, the last guy, Yabusele, that's Zion from France.
Yeah.
He literally weighs like 250 pounds, and he's like 6'7", I think, maybe.
Yeah.
So he's a big dude.
Yeah, he kind of waddles around like Draymond Green a little bit,
Yeah,
like an old woman. He kind of walks around like an old woman.
Yeah, and listen, the guy with 22, Terry Terpey, look at his numbers. He's 1 for 1 from 2, 2 for 2 for free throws, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and I think that's one
And it's a block. Is that blocks or steals? Steals.
steal. Yeah, that he got onto this roster because Frank Ntilikina got injured, and they replaced him with this guy. But when you look at the skill set, these guys are clones,
Yeah.
literally the same player. They throw out Turpey sometimes in the starting lineup even, but his role is to lock down the offensive player from the opposite team.
Yeah.
So it's this the coach of France national team, Vincent Collet, that's a dude that he's a national team coach for I think probably like 2 decades now.
Yeah.
The same goes with the national coach from the Spanish team, and all national teams that play great quality basketball in Europe, they have this program, right, that they're running, and it's like not like 2 or 3 years thing. They run it for a decade or two, and then the players come from the junior teams, from the under 21 teams, under 18 teams, and when they get to the main roster, they know everything that's going to be played. So that's an advantage too for these players. So Evan played, he played for the senior team, I think from 2014, but before that he was playing with Rudy in the junior squad and stuff like that. So he knows him for probably like 20 years now,
Yeah.
maybe 15 or something like that, because like 29, so half of the year life, he knows Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I like listening to you talk basketball, man. Thank you for popping in. So listen, because I'm very random. I don't have any set schedule or nothing. So like, if something happens, whatever, and let's say if I'm doing something like today, I went to we went out with the kids and we went to like a street fair and we was doing the street fair thing. But after we got tired of that shit, we just come home. Just like you went to the bar and you came home. But for me, everything is random. So am I gonna? I hit you up early. Say, yo, I think I might do it. I'm not sure if I am. Because after we did that, something we might have did something else. So my wife would have said something, but she agreed. Let's go home because she's a little bit tired and the kids were acting up a little bit. So at that, then next thing you know, bam, I'm here. Doing a live show. That's how it goes, man. So
yeah,
yeah, whenever
true.
I come on early, I would love to have you on, but it's just like I said, it's always like the wind is blowing. Whoa, oh, let me do a podcast. Yeah,
Yeah, cool, cool. Listen, I'm not always available because of the time difference. The 6 hour difference is like, for me now it's like 9:30, right? So I'm cool because when the kids are in bed.
yeah,
I'm already showered. I can watch the game and go to bed. So I'm gonna be ready for tomorrow for work. But when Sim does the shows, or Steph, they do it like 2, 3 in the at night for me. So
yeah,
if I would be waking up for those shows, I would be a zombie the next day, and sometimes, you can wake up like maybe on a Friday or a Saturday so we can sleep in the next day.
right,
But, on the weekdays, I got to get up to work, at least, like 10, 20 minutes before 7 a.m. to get to work. So that would be, hard thing to do, hard thing on the body, because, the mental thing, cool, right? But the
yeah.
body, you can't do it for so long. And a couple of years back, listen, I was watching every Nick game live. But
Wow.
it's different when you have like 30 years and you got 38, right? So
Tell me about it,
for
bro. Tell me about that
yeah,
shit.
you can only take it for so long, right?
I could even get a little bit crazier. I mean, what time is it? It's 3:35. I gotta calm down a little bit because I always got something crazy I want to say. But like when I first met my wife, that was around the Jeremy Lin time. I didn't first meet her, but it's just like we were like living together now, that type of thing. So that was around when Jeremy Lin came there. So that was 10 years ago, man. That was a long
Yeah,
time ago.
time flies.
Time flies like it's nothing. But Eru 10 years ago is way different than Eru like right now, because at the time, you know what I'm saying? I could sit, we could spend the whole I can go pick her up from work, we walk and do all kinds of stuff, get on the train, come home, get ourselves ready to watch the game, watch the whole entire game with my wife, whatever. And then for like for as soon as the game is over, for like the next 15 hours, I'm in the other room with her like a freaking bunny, doing everything that I'm doing, for like the next 15 hours or whatever. And then without any sleep, I just, jump in the shower and come to work. And then I'll do a whole full
Yeah,
shift and do it again.
yeah.
But now 40, 10 years later, now I'm in a different guy. I can't do that no more, man. Can't do that no more.
Yeah. Listen, some people say age is only a number, but
Yeah.
at some point, you're gonna feel the heat. So
Youth is wasted on the young, man. That's what that's about.
yeah,
You know, because if I could switch, I was talking about the Lithuanian guys in the basketball court. Like, if I could switch my mind with the young self at the time, I would have destroyed those European guys, and they would have been talking about the legend of Eru that pops up at this park. It would be like if you could combine, you know what I'm saying? If you could combine the young guy to the old guy, you would just have like a god of a human being if you can combine those. But that's life, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, the game's back on, man. So so far, I mean, France is really trying to attack here. I can see.
yeah. But you see, they're moving the ball, and taking the best shot available. Fournier had a three that he could have pulled, or just do that sidestep and take the three. But he
Right.
moved the ball, he swung it to Huerto, and he just missed the hoop.
Everything.
But
He missed
yeah,
everything, man.
yeah. But that's a thing that for Europe, right? In Europe, that you rather take the best shot available, instead of just chuck it. Chucking is for guys like those mega stars. Jokic can chuck without limits, Luka
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But the rest of the guys, they have a green light, but it's not like for 100% of the time.
Well, one thing I want to say too, after he made that air ball, they immediately showed the coach, and the coach just
Yeah,
took a swig of his water. He was chilling.
yeah,
But if it was Tom Thibodeau, you would have heard his voice change.
yeah,
He would have been all pissed off. But it's just the mentality is different because, like you
yeah,
said, he made the right play. The right play was instead of doing a step back, a jump shot that you would see in the NBA game, he made the right pass to the open man. So you can't be upset about that. That he made the right basketball play.
yeah.
You know, so that's what's up. Yeah, man. Salute on Pudge. Pudge is late. You late, Pudge? What's up, man? Pudge is the man. Pudge always supports everybody. You see him on everybody's pod supporting
Yeah.
us. He's definitely very important to everything that's going on here, man. So definitely salute to Pudge, man. Absolutely.
And listen, we didn't even talk about the former Nick on the Spanish team, Willie Hernan Gomez. Playing a big role here for this team. Not only because he's one of the best players, but listen, he and his brother are literally replacing the Gasol brothers,
Yeah,
icons for the Spanish basketball community.
yeah,
So I think, and listen, they're living it up. I'm following the basketball in here in Europe, and I think that they were thinking that after the Gasol brothers leave, it's going to be like a huge step back. Meanwhile, listen, they're back in the finals
yeah.
again, so that it might be not so bad.
Right. If you look at the minutes too, 15 minutes. My man Juancho 10 minutes. So it's very different. They're not going to be playing the heavy, go-to minutes
Yeah,
the way that you would think about it. Just team concept. They're
yeah,
doing what they need to do to get things done with the way that they
yeah,
play out there. You know. And so I get it, man. It's very important. You need that rotation, but you, like I said, you need guys to care about this shit. I understand the more money you have, the more problems. So a lot of guys have a lot of things going on. They're not only are they basketball players, but they just have so much stuff going on. Like LeBron got schools he's opening up, and so many other guys that got other obligations and stuff. So I get it. But if you don't really have anything going on, then I think this is the best place to be right here. You know?
yeah, yeah. And listen, it's I understand that these guys want some time off, so time for the family. I understand that that can be bought, right?
Yeah.
But let's not act like they need so much practice time on the national team, like they're gonna go for 3 months, the whole summer, right? It's
Yeah.
not gonna be the situation. This tournament is gonna be like 2.5 weeks, and it's done. So of course you're gonna play like 7 games, 8 games, if you make the finals.
Right.
But I don't think that's that much of an issue for even the NBA's biggest stars from the US. And listen, they don't need that much energy compared to what Jokic, Giannis, and Doncic had to do with their national teams, right? They
Yeah.
got 15 stars playing, so
Well, if you play ball, right, like even NBA training camp is only what, like 2 weeks. Training camp,
Yeah.
they start playing preseason games or right away. So I mean, this is professional sports. This is not like what do you want to say, like pee wee basketball, where you got to teach guys how to do stuff. This is professional sports, so it shouldn't take that long. Guys get a couple meetings together, a couple practices together. Okay, we
Mhm.
good.
And
I
listen,
already know.
and they know that they gotta care for their body the whole year. It's not
Yeah,
like, okay, they're gonna take a week off, with the diet even, and with the rest of the thing. But it's not like, he's gonna gain like 50 pounds, and then in the training camp he has to lose the whole 50, right?
boy.
Of course he's gonna get, a little bit, maybe weight or something like that. But then he's gonna, work through the summer, on his individual things, on his conditioning and stuff like that. When the training camps, open, he should be already ready, body wise and stuff. So you just tweak the offensive schemes, the defensive schemes, so the coach can, look at this from this point, from that point, and then just, make a game plan for the whole season.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Raymond Felton though.
yeah,
Raymond Felton used to show up to camp with a freaking ham sandwich in his back pocket, bro. That guy,
listen,
that
that
guy was something else, man.
he got different genes, bro. That DNA was, totally different.
Yeah. But yeah, he literally would show up with a pot belly, look like he haven't even,
Yeah.
stepped 1 foot out of his pickup truck all summertime. And then, before the beginning of the season, he looks like a basketball player again. I just don't, that's like I said, there's something different than the player when you're 22 compared to 32. You can't do the same thing you did when you was 22. At some point,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to start, eating vegetables during the summertime too, not just the NBA season. It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
far, man,
let's
look at the score, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. Look at the score, 51-46. This is a game.
Y-
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and it was 49-46, but Willie just played a pick and roll, and he's gonna get an and one.
Yeah,
He made the shot, and now he's gonna. Oh, he didn't make the free throw, so it's 51-46, like you said, and it was looking bleak for Team France, right? Meanwhile, a couple of plays here and there, and it's a close game, like I said.
yeah. Shout out to East Blue. East Blue wants to know how much Fournier got. So it looks, you can see it on the screen there. So that's why I'm keeping Fournier, Rude, and also the leading scorer there for France. It just happens to be that way. They're right there, 1, 2, 3. So you can, what stats these guys are putting up. Ain't nobody saying nothing about Fournier. I mean, Goldberg. You know, Goldberg is borderline trash, man.
Yeah, in this game he's playing really bad. Yabusela, the power forward guy, the baby Zion or France, he's looking like way better than Gobert.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, Gobert saved them before the Polish game. I'm not sure who they played, but he saved them in the overtime because he got like 3 key rebounds and putbacks, in overtime. So that was the thing that why they used Gobert, plenty of minutes. But like listen, and we know that Willie Hernan Gomez ain't a superstar, right? Meanwhile, he's standing his own versus Gobert in this international game.
well, he's very smart. Just now, he got
Yeah,
the ball on the inside, and he just threw the ball at the basket. Because he know that he would be in position to get the rebound. And he did that. He got
yeah.
the ball, and they was able to continue the ball movement. But it's just the mentality, the smartness of certain players. Like Mitchell Robinson. I don't know if he get the ball in that same spot, will he think to throw it off to the side
Oh,
where because no, he can get the rebound, to get the position to get the rebound. I don't know if he's smart enough to do something like that.
oh, they're gonna counter, right?
They counted that.
Yeah, I
That's
think
different
so.
too, right? Well, that was kind of obvious though. That was an obvious goaltending. I'm eating an apple, bro. So I mean, I went apple picking yesterday with my family. So do they do that out there in Europe? Let's say like in Poland for that's where you're from. Do you guys do apple picking?
Yeah, but you can do like more fruit, not only apples, but yeah, but you can do it. Yeah,
Well,
but mostly raspberries here where I live. It's like raspberries, blueberries, those different kind of berries. But like I said, apples, cherries, whatever you want, right?
okay. But around this time of year, my mom, say, "Hey, you want to go apple picking?" I'm like, "Hell no," But I mean, I got little kids, so it's just like an experience. Go to with the family, all just kind of hang out. So it's always around this time of year, like around, let's say, September, October. And then after this season pops over at the end of October, of course, with Halloween and stuff, they start doing pumpkin picking and that type of thing. So I was just curious. Little things that we do in one country is not the same thing in another country. You
Yeah.
know?
But at least you're doing it. So when your kids ask, Dad, where's the apple come from? If it's a bush, a tree, whatever, they don't
Yeah.
go like draw blank. They know it's from a tree, right?
Right.
So no.
Also, too, when you're there too, like you could pull it right off the tree, and they're like, pull it off the tree? Like, yeah, just pop it
Yeah,
off the tree. And they're like, oh shit. And then after they eat it, okay, I don't want no more. So what do I do? Where's the garbage? And you're like, nah, just throw it right underneath the tree. They're like,
yeah,
what? And then there's a whole conversation, it's a good experience. It's a great experience for kids, I think. And so if anybody's wondering what channel is the game on, it's on I believe it's on ESPN Plus. You
yeah.
know,
I think so. Yeah, for you guys in the US, it's ESPN Plus.
yeah. What about Europe? What are you watching it on?
I'm watching it, because it's like every country has its, the rights to the Eurobasket was sold for, every different channel. So in Poland, it's just like the national TV has
Okay,
it. So
that's what's up. So it makes sense though because it's an international thing. So you would think that the country would have control. Like this game shouldn't be on ESPN. It should be like on Channel 2 or something like that. Something where everyone can access it because it should be important like that.
yeah, but listen, in Poland, I think their sport, it's totally, the TV rights and stuff like that. I think it's like literally to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
And since basketball is not one of the top sports in Poland, I think that's why it's on national TV, because they just had to have something on. So they were the highest bidder for this thing.
Yeah.
But in Poland, volleyball is way higher. Of course, soccer, because that's the biggest thing. No matter what place in the world Polish national team in soccer has, they're gonna show it on every channel, literally.
So tell me about volleyball. There's some indoor volleyball, Rob. Men and women.
Yeah. Indoor. Listen, the last, even the championship games were in Poland, hosted in Poland, and Poland lost to Italy in the finals, if I'm
Mm,
correct. So, but they're like last 20 years, they got on the with a medal from basically every tournament. So I think they won it twice, the world championship. But
wow.
and that's a problem for Poland, for Polish basketball, because all the kids that they grow up, the high kids, they go to play volleyball instead of basketball. So
Right.
that's why we don't have great basketball players.
Right. Well, I mean, can you? All right. So they have professional volleyball teams. Do they make money like that out there in Poland?
Yeah, listen, I think the for example, the best league that has the highest earnings might be probably soccer, of course. But after soccer, I think that there's a sports called speedway. They ride on motorcycles. It's like it can be an individual sport, but also a league sport. But for
Right.
example, one rider can ride in like 3-4 leagues, because for example, in Polish, the how do you call it, the matchups, whatever, are ridden on Sundays. For example, on Mondays you can ride for a team in England. For at Wednesday you can ride in Sweden, right? But
Yeah.
it's more of a European thing, though. United States had also champions in this sport, but I think that's the highest paid thing. But those guys are riding motorcycles without brakes. So that's crazy, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so that might be the highest paid thing. But I think basketball is behind volleyball, behind soccer, behind speedway, behind handball even. Then maybe it might be it might be basketball. So
Okay.
literally all the Olympic team sports, and then it's basketball.
Yeah. No doubt. Shout out to Canal. Canal just popped in. He's doing his what do you call it? Um moderator thing. He just popped in and did his thing.
Clean the chat.
He cleaned the chat nice and clean there, Mr. Canal. Shout out to Canal, man. Shout out to all supporters. He's shouting out Geraldine and everybody. Everybody, thanks for popping in here. I like to talk basketball, man. I love it. I love to hear you talk about what's going on on your side, because you can't keep a closed mind on the mentality. You know, we think of things one way, so sometimes it's good to just be quiet and listen to what someone else is saying, their perspective, and what's happening on their side of the world. I think that's important.
Yeah, like I said, listen, I'm not trying to say that, the thing in Europe is better as far as basketball, whatever. They
Hmm.
just have it different because, the countries are totally different. The countries aren't that big as the states. Listen, the states have, when you look at the area, they're probably what, bigger than Europe.
Hmm.
And in Europe you have like, 50 countries, 40, whatever, right? So it's totally different thing. Listen, for example, Slovenia, where Doncic was born, that whole country has 2.7 million people. 2.7. That's probably the size
Brooklyn.
of Brooklyn,
Yeah,
right?
right. Hmm.
And they won the Eurobasket games previously. And look at the talent that they have there. When you look at the other sports teams, Slovenia was like number 4 team in volleyball. They're good in soccer. Then plenty of sports. When you think about it, you from one household, it looks like one guy plays it two different sports for his nation. It's like nationality. It's so crazy. So 2.6 million, and you got to have a basketball team, football team, whatever. It's crazy for me. Like, the same with Lithuania. They're not a big of a country. Meanwhile, they could easily you know generate so many great basketball players or sports players, right?
Yeah.
And this is a funny question, maybe not question, just funny statement. uh when we were watching the Eurobasket, someone said, like, listen, because there was a country, Yugoslavia, right?
Mhm.
So they had a home war, and they split
Yeah.
into 5 or 6 countries:
Yeah. I was gonna
Bosnia and
ask you.
Herzegovina, Serbia, Slovenia, Croatia, Montenegro. So that's 5. But when you look at the rosters of those countries, they would have Doncic, both Bogdanovic guys,
Mhm.
Jokic, uh, Nurkic. What when we like made a roster from those 5 countries, if that home war wouldn't be, those like 20 years ago, United States would really have a problem winning the Olympic game
Yeah.
in
Absolutely
basketball,
right.
bro. They had such a stacked squad, bro. I'm pretty much sure that that would be a really close game.
Say call it like it is, man. Like, if even with the United States with a stacked squad, they're gonna have a hard time beating that fucking team, man. If they put all those players together, because it's just a different
Yeah,
mentality. They care if they was all one Yugoslavia and everything was all good, like you said. They have more pride in where they're from. So
yeah,
if they get together and they put that uniform on, they're gonna show up a little bit more hungry than say the United States team would.
yeah.
Forget
And
about
but
talent.
listen, bro, I'm gonna for one day I'm gonna pick you up the whole list, the roster that we were just thinking of. Not talking about the young guys that are prospects and stuff like that, but bro, that roster was so stacked. I was like, bro, the United States, would probably lose that game, but
Win be something.
I don't want to go that far because Knicks fans gonna get pissed at me, but 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 that might be the case, bro. Listen, Jokic and Doncic, both Bogdanovich brothers, Hazonia, Nurkic, and bro, that would be a squad.
Yeah, and I'm quite sure we're missing quite a few players.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
mid tier players that would be really good, man. I'm telling you, you know.
Yeah. So that would be because I'm not gonna say Team Europe, because if you can add guys from France, Spain, and that like an all-star Europe team,
Yeah,
I think they would probably win. But that's not the case here because every country was different. But that country once upon a time was like the whole one country.
yeah,
So that would be something.
yeah, definitely. And I like to think about stuff like that. Just like you just like me when I grew up learning basketball and stuff like that. I used to love to get basketball cards and put them together. And then like if say if it was a pack of 8, I would have a starting lineup with a bench and all that stuff. I'm quite sure a lot of guys people did that. So that I look at basketball a lot like that. So if I'm looking at another team, another country, sometimes I like to go through the list. I'm like, oh shit, man, if this guy was here, this guy was there. If this guy came over, if he didn't come over, so much different stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Are we watching the Giants? I would be watching the Giants, but I'm a Knicks fan first, so watching the basketball support, giving Fournier a little bit of support is a little bit more important to me than watching the Giants though. But are the Giants winning? Because I think they were winning 6-3 last time I checked. I'm gonna have to take a look there. I'll leave this up there. Shout out to East Blue. East Blue Drew, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. You became a nice little co-host for us today. What's going on with the Giants? Giants are actually winning 19-16. So I got an opinion about them. So shout out to I am Jarrell. I am Jarrell is actually doing a watch along right now. His name of his channel is Die Hard Giants Live. So me and him talked about it. So he decided decided to use the Die Hard name because I had no interest of doing any football stuff because I think that's just way too much for me to deal with, whatever. But shout out to him doing that, man. But doing the watch along with him got my juices flowing with that, man. And my opinion with the Giants is that I think if the Giants continue to play the way they're playing, even though they're not healthy, I think they could be 4-0. And then looking to start the season 4-0. If you look at the schedule, it's not so far from the imagination. But who cares?
Listen, I watched a NFL game probably several times in my life, but since I'm in Poland, they don't only the Super Bowl. You can watch the Super Bowl, right? They don't transmit the new show. They don't show literally no NFL games. Yeah. So I would have to buy the league pass, whatever they call it for the NFL, right?
Yeah.
So that would be the case.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not into I'm not into the NFL like that. So
me either. They're run. People talk about ownerships and stuff in the NBA, especially. It's like, it turns you off to it a little bit. But once I think some time passed, and I think the NFL learned their lesson about who's actually in control is really the fans and stuff like that. So I think they kind of chilled out a little bit. They learned their lesson, so it's something that you can get behind now and enjoy it without having the politics behind it. But it is what it is. I just want to say what's up to Sheer Brilliance. I see you, man. He actually has his own channel too. He has his own Knicks channel.
Yeah, I subbed it. I wrote him in a comment that if he didn't tip you on your show, I wouldn't know about the channel. So
yeah,
he got one sub more for me.
Yeah, he paid for that sub, right?
Yeah,
yeah. He got good stuff, man. I see he's just a different approach, and I think that's what's needed. That's what's needed in the whole conversation. I do things the way that I do for a reason because I'm trying to be myself and I am being myself, but I'm being myself like like I'm way being myself. I don't have anything stopping anything about me, so I'm keeping it that way. Even the way that I talk, everything I'm keeping it that way just to have my own branding, I guess, my own voice, the way that I do stuff, just to keep it that way. Keep it extremely light. That's my my motto.
Yeah, Fournier just pulled up for 3 because they left him, 2 foot space. So he took it and he made it, and 68-60 for France, for Spain.
But, number 0 is playing some good defense there. Nice little strip.
Yeah, Okobo.
Yeah. One thing about Spain that I've noticed as you're talking, listening to your beautiful voice, France, they get hot. They flame out. Like right now, they just launching threes and that type of thing, and they flame out. They get hot real quick. But the France's defense is what's keeping them in the game here. So I think now this is the fourth quarter. Holy cow, fourth quarter. So I think if the France could stay on their ass, and then if Spain could not get hot, because get cooled off a little bit, they could have a chance to steal this game.
Yeah. Listen, that's going to be the case here. Like I told you, it's like 2 threes, and we're back to having the close game.
Yeah, trying to get the score here. For some reason, the freaking thing was blocking it. I'll just keep it like that, just so we can keep an eye on the
now the refs made a bad call because that Rudy Fernandez 3 grazed the rim. Meanwhile, they called it on an airborne, and the 24-second shot clock expired. and the Scolari is going to get a tech now because he's asking them for a replay to watch, go to the table, but they can't do it because, it's not like late in the game and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's not a situation that they can review.
Yeah.
And, Spanish players are, getting pissed at this as the thing.
I love the animation. The Europeans, man, I just love the animation.
Yeah.
It's way different than
Yo,
Americans.
but did you see the Italy national team coach when they won versus who they win? I think versus Serbia. Yeah, they eliminated Serbia. Bro, he got thrown out of the game early in the third quarter.
Yeah.
He, gathered the team, like literally kissed them on the forehead, each and every player of his. He went through the Serbia bench, high-fived all of those guys there. Thanks for the game. He went to he went back. He shaked his hand with the president of both team Italy and team Serbia.
Mhm.
He made, out of that entrance, he made just a whole show, right?
Mhm.
But then they won the game, right? He, greeted the players in the tunnel. He kissed them again. The news was out that he gave them his credit card so they can, party that day.
Yeah.
And that, but listen, for Italy, it was also a huge thing that they beat out a team like Serbia, right? So that was huge for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those guys are also happy there in Italy. They're not playing in the finals, but still a huge thing for them.
So I mean, this is probably like a bad joke, whatever. But COVID, with the whole thing, and put masks on and staying away from each other. That's very hard for Italians, man. Because like you said, all that
Oh,
kissing,
bro.
them guys kiss, man. Shout out to Brooklyn. There's a couple of guys that different parts of my life. I grew up around a couple of guys that they were from Italy, and you meet their family and stuff like that. It's just like
Yeah.
Haitians too, all a bunch of kiss, kiss everybody. Wheel the person from the back that's crippled out there in a wheelchair. You got to kiss that motherfucker too. You got to kiss everybody. Everybody kisses.
Yeah. The same thing with friends. You just meet someone, you say hi, and you're like, gotta give a peck on the cheek or something.
Yeah.
So, in Europe, these countries have different, but like you said, COVID changed stuff.
Yeah.
But I still think that's more of a nation thing, and it's gonna be back. I think it's too deep in the roots that it's not gonna vanish.
Yeah, it's back. I got told off the other day. We went to go visit some from family, but not told off. But I got like the like that because when I came in there, I'm giving everybody a kiss. I give a kiss, but I was supposed to do the two sides, but I didn't do the second side. And oh man, I almost got chopped in the throat, man. I felt the
Yeah.
energy. I said, oh shit, I forgot to kiss the other side. Then when I was saying goodbye, I got the kiss, and then I got the push off, like get out of here, you American. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Yeah.
Culture's important though. Culture's very important. Yeah, that's why I harp on here. Just basketball culture, Knicks culture. Like it's so important to keep certain traditions going. Keep it going. Like I said, shout out to my man here. Sherry. He has his own channel and stuff like that. You keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very important to keep the culture pumping, no matter who's doing it. If I'm doing it, he's doing it his way. Other people doing it their way. You're doing it your way. It's very important for us to have these connections, just to keep that. Yo, this guy is on fire. Hit another
Told you, bro.
3-point shot.
Yeah. He's gonna be 7 for 8.
Yeah, we're talking about that's Juancho.
Yeah, Juancho Hernan Gomez. Yeah.
That's the same kid that was in that movie with
Yeah. Bo Cruz.
yeah.
Netflix Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, same kid. Right now, he's kicking ass right now. How many? I'm gonna see how many.
7. He has 7.
Wow.
Yeah, 7 for 9. Yeah.
I think some of those 8 for 10s. I think that might have been 3-point shots too. That 8. No, it's not. I'm bugging out. I'm not good at math, sir.
Yeah. It's bro, but he's like you said, he's on fire, bro. And listen, it's a 10-point game, and it looks like Spain is making literally every basket.
Yeah, they're hot. They're They're like flamethrowers right now. Here he goes. There. I just was looking at the replay there. Fournier obviously fouled him, but do you see the interaction? There was a foul there. He got fouled, so they did call the foul. but Juancho never looked at him. Fournier didn't make no reaction. It's just a different culture. You know,
Yeah,
like if it was the NBA, there would have been a face to face off. Everybody kind of come in there,
yeah, yapping and stuff like
yeah,
that, right?
break it up.
The yeah, the problem is that that was Fournier's fourth foul, and in FIBA you're ejected after the fifth one, so it's five fouls, and that's game for you.
Yeah, 7 minutes left in this game. We got a 10-point ball game here. It's crazy. This apple's delicious, man. I gotta tell you, like picking up fresh apples and like there's so many different variations of the apples, different kinds.
Yeah,
They all have different
tons.
tastes. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
tons.
Yeah, man, this shit is sitting in a bowl that I don't know how long this bowl been here, but whatever was in the bowl before is adding nice flavor to it too. So I might be sick the next couple days. So enjoy my face for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
we
far.
got an 8-point game now.
Yeah. Who's this guy handling ball number 2 on Spain?
Lorenzo Brown, that's the
Yes.
naturalized
Yeah.
Spaniard.
hmm That's cool, man.
Yeah, but he also played like I said, yeah, he played in the Spanish league for a couple of seasons now.
Yeah.
So
You know what bugged me out? What's this guy? Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson,
yeah,
and like I would never think.
Filipino.
Yeah, he's Filipino. I had no idea. And then
Yeah,
I see him.
I know that.
You knew that?
Yeah, I know that. I know that. Yeah.
I had no idea. Because I mean, like they're giving their interviews and stuff, and he was talking about my country, my country. I'm like, what do you mean your country? Like Filipino? He was born over there, But I mean, I just thought that was freaking awesome. Because I mean, like just to have, I mean, it's so important, man, to have pride in where you come from, man. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Listen, there's plenty of guys that I don't know if you recall, but Ronaldo Balkman, the one that was playing on the Knicks, he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I was like, and he was maybe not star, but he was a player for that national team.
Yeah.
There. So
Yeah. Shout out to Baldwin. Everything that he was got kicked out the league for basically because he didn't have like a jump shot, 3-point shot. He has all of that now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. But for whatever reason, he's probably not ever going to get his opportunity because he's still fairly young. I think he's like in his early 30s now.
No, I think he's not. Yeah, he's definitely early 30s, but I don't think he's gonna make our way to the NBA.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
Ball handling, everything about his game is definitely different.
yeah, and it's not like he developed it after. I don't think he just got the chance to use it in the NBA. He had a different role. He was an energy guy.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Yeah, different eras too. I think
Yeah.
if he would have came into the NBA maybe like 10 years later, he would be like a household name there. Ronaldo Balkan. Because Juancho's the biggest guy on the court right now, and the guy can't, he's kicking it back out the post, for them to do their perimeter stuff. It's cool. The Juancho brothers, they walk exactly the same, man. They walk, they got
They're
the
like
hand.
clones, right?
Yeah, it's freaky to watch. Oh man, look at the family. Look, see the Spanish lady there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that's their. That might be their mother, though.
That's their mother.
Yeah, that's why when you look at the jerseys, Willie has his mother's surname and Juancho has his father's surname.
Oh.
So that's the trick that they have here in Spain. That I heard that story too last time they played versus Poland.
Okay.
So Willie has his mother's surname, and Juancho has, he has Willie Guerre, whatever, and Juancho has Hernan Gomez.
Right.
So they split out like that.
See, that's the pride. It's to show pride in your family because everybody knows they're related. But I got to put my dad's name on my jersey.
Yeah.
Just for pride for the family and stuff. That's dope.
Yeah, but because that's like I think Venezuela has it, right? Venezuelans have like the first part of the surname goes after your father's, and the second one comes after your mother's. Yeah. So for example, I have a friend from Venezuela, and he's like his surname is Sarmiento Navas, and I was like, dude, can't you just use one because it's gonna be shorter here, right, in Poland? He's like, no, we got one from my father and then from my mother, and I was like, everybody has it. And
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what if, for example, your kids, they're gonna have like 4 surnames because you're gonna have two? And you know what? He said, no, it only goes after your father's and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's nice little history there. Because I mean, I feel like all Latino countries got it from Spain, I guess. Because with the whole thing with the
yeah,
jersey numbers and stuff, the jersey names. Because even for me, I have a Puerto Rican heritage. That's from my dad's side. But if you start doing like the whole 23andMe and say like looking back at your heritage, the ancestry.com and start doing that, before you know it, there's like 10 different surnames. I'm like, who the hell am I related to here in this pack? Because
yeah,
it's the same thing. Like, oh, I use my mom's name, but my brother uses the dad's name. So you can't trace nobody after a certain point. And then during that time, like you couldn't really like there was no birth certificates and that type of thing. People didn't really care about that.
yeah,
Yeah. So the Giants won, man. Giants won 2-0. We did mention you, Mr. Jarrell. We was talking about you 2-0. Yo, Jarrell, I think we might be able to go 4-0, bro, based on the schedule. I'm trying to tell you. Salute to all the diehards. That's right. That's right, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, so this game here, I think Spain just is are just hot right now. The
yeah.
offense, a good offense always beats a good defense, bro.
Unfortunately,
Right? No matter that's the thing. People are like going so hard about Fournier not being able to defend and that type of thing. But I mean, if Fournier, if the team is scoring more than the other team, then you know, like defense is more about making stops. You make a stop, key stops, that wins championships. But the hardcore defense where you got to like lock everybody down, this is unrealistic. It's an unrealistic thing.
yeah,
This game is about buckets, man. They go big booty.
yeah, Yabuzela.
Yeah,
Yeah, he made his way into into the paint.
yeah. That's always awkward to me, man. The guys that post up that way and they get so low and they got their booty poked out. Yeah, it's a bit problematic for me, man. Guys play defense. Guys play post games like that, man. I just stand back. Like, listen, you go twerk on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Switch, yeah, switch. Somebody switch. I'm not guarding you
Yeah,
like that.
Fournier with another three.
Yeah, clutch three, right?
Yeah, trying to get his team back.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 44 seconds on our clock at the moment. Yeah, spoiler alert on the screen. We're a little bit behind according to what's going on our screen.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, it's at our screen it's like 12-point game, but it if they don't make a couple of stops, it's going to be hard. It's going to
Yeah,
be hard for France.
yeah, nice little floater by number 4. Yeah, they need to mic up the French guys. Because it's one thing like say like Spain is you got the fire, right? But
Yeah,
in France, it's like it's a different thing.
yeah. It sounds like they're trolling, right? It's like they're trying to like I think Savvy said it. They're trying to be tough, but because of the language, they could be mad so much, but it's
Yeah,
still not going to look tough.
but listen, man.
Sound tough, yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta watch your surroundings out there in France, man. Your ass will be dragged up in the mountains somewhere, man. Fool around with them French guys. You know,
Yeah.
French guys like to kick too, Taekwondo and all that. Shout out to Van Damme, motherfucker kicking like Van Damme out there in France, man. You better watch your
Yeah,
mouth.
but I think Van Damme was Belgian.
Belgium, okay,
Yeah, I think Van, those Van Dams or Van whatevers are like Belgium or Netherlands. No,
okay.
it's still like close to France, but I think it's uh,
Shout
if
out
they
to
make a
Belgium.
hoop now, that's game.
Yeah, shout out to Belgium. Do they eat waffles in Belgium?
Listen, I know that in Belgium they are known actually for inventing. I don't know what's the proper word with this. The French fries. I don't know why in states they call it French fries, but
That's a fact.
yeah, that's created in Belgium.
Yeah,
So and and basically they eat it with mayo in Belgium.
yeah. I eat it with mayo too. I started
Yeah,
that in high school. We used to eat it with. We used to get French because we always broke. So we used to put a quarter. Everybody put a quarter in. We got French fries. We got French fries with freaking cheese on it. We got ketchup and freaking mayonnaise, bro. Just mayonnaise all over that thing. We used to love that. So to this day, me and my wife we do it with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
culturally,
listen, that's news for plenty of people.
hell yeah.
Though
'Cause I mean,
that you can even try it with mayo.
yeah,
That's crazy for some.
yeah. Culturally, mayonnaise in America is not the same as it used to be. Like people like mayonnaise, oh mayonnaise,
Yeah, in the diet era, right? It's
Yeah,
like, oh, that's the worst thing you can eat,
yeah.
mayo.
I'm
So
vegetarian too, so my mayonnaise is not vegetarian friendly, but you can get the veggie mayonnaise. But
yeah,
that's why I'm so damn fat. Because I mean, like, I have like, I go through stages where if I'm cooking and I'm doing everything the way I'm supposed to, cooking meaning I'm working out and being active, whatever. I can eat so healthy, like, because that's just the way my diet is. I'm vegetarian, but if I'm not eating good, man, I can eat so bad, bro. It's unbelievable how I can do that.
yeah. Listen, I'm not gaining weight nowadays, but my diet could be better. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, I got two freaking bags of apples, man. So I'm gonna be shitting my brains out. So hopefully I can get some weight off. Yeah, man. Shout out to all these guys that's in the chat here. Shout out to Gerald. Gerald's definitely here. Yep, he said he could see 4-0. We trying to relax. Hey, bro. I'm telling you, we talked about it at the two watch alongs that we were watching. Well, that one watch along, the first watch along. We talked about it, man. So it's very possible. We ain't talking about the Jets, man, Mr. Sherman. Just like we're not talking about fake black coaches and all this other stuff you're talking about over there. We ignoring you, Mr. Sherman. You know what I'm saying? Too spicy over there, okay, Mr. Sherman. Yeah, man. Shout out to all these guys here. Yeah, more white players in the thing. See, black and white. In certain parts of Europe, say melting pot places like say like England and even France for the most part. They
Oh, Francis, whoa, France is so mixed that
yeah. Definitely. I mean, France, definitely France, in Europe or whatever. I mean, I'm not Europe, England or whatever. They have whole neighborhoods that's like so culturally, like you could just watch guys walking down the street and they're talking, like they're Jamaican, but you turn around, it's a
yeah,
freaking straight white guy but walking down the block. It's just a different way of thinking about race and that type of thing. I think, the United States, the reason why things are different other places because the United States harp on it too much. We have yet to admit it, how bad that we are here. We have yet to admit our past. That's why we still can't get over it. We still can't get past it because we can't admit that we had a problem, that we were the originators basically, and then anyway, that's a whole big thing there.
yeah, that's a big thing. But listen, in Europe, you can easily find countries that where, for example, France or whatever, they had so many colonies in Africa
Yeah,
that they have a really wide variety of mixed bloodlines there.
yeah, yeah, definitely, man. But these countries, they're not going to deny their past. The whole
Yeah,
colonizer stuff. They like for Germany, for instance, man. Germany with their history with the world wars and stuff like that. Not to get too crazy with that, but just they acknowledge the fact that that's what's happening there. But I've never been to Germany, but for people from what they tell me, they said that they're so warm there. They're just different because they understand where they've been through and they don't want to go back there again. So their policies and the way that they interact with everyone is a lot different than how it used to be, man. Just based off of what happened to them in the past. They don't want to repeat that again. So
yeah.
I get it.
I know that Germany has plenty of Turkish people.
Yes.
That's like they got like tons. Percentage wise, it might be like 15% of the the citizens in now in that have Turkey roots. So but there was a situation where the guys were like migrating, and Germany just took so many migrants, immigrants to them.
Yeah.
So
Well, Turkey and you, I think. Well, tell me if this is true. Like Turkish people are like say like Latinos here. It's just that you could find Turks everywhere. Like say like you would find a Spanish food restaurant here in
yeah,
the States. You could find a Turkish restaurant like that.
yeah, that's true. They are like, I think they're literally all over the world now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
with the
definitely.
shish kebabs and stuff like that. So they're
Yeah,
like masters of that food.
yeah. Definitely, man. But I mean, it's interesting. This is just to talk. even if I'm saying something, I might be wrong or ignorant to some people, but it's the conversation. Like, listen, like just like the bass we're talking about at a pub. Guys like, oh, this guy can't do this. No, but check this out, right? Simple. Just say, hey, check this out, bro. And then you give him something. That, oh shit, okay. It's just it's a conversation, man. That's all it is. If people would just have conversations, everything would just be so much more easier to deal with around here. I'm talking about Earth in general. Yeah, man. Shout out to my hat, man. You see the hat? I'm rocking the world peace hat today.
Yeah.
Do it for a reason. You know. Yeah, man.
Yeah, looks like that's gonna be game, Euro.
Yeah, game's over.
Yeah.
88-76.
Yeah.
So what happened? I met my man here. Where's he at? Did he delete his comment? No, he said, "Who will win this match?" You know,
It's gonna be Spain.
right? But how? How did they win that match?
Yeah, listen, well, I think it's mostly because Juancho Hernan Gomez, took this whole team on his back, and listen, he caught fire, 8 threes, I think, if I'm correct, 8.
Hmm.
So
That's the game, basically, right there. The 8 threes. Come on, that's the game.
yeah, 8 threes. That's what, 24 points, and they scored 88 the whole
Yeah,
game. So one player with 25% of the points for the whole team.
yeah.
So
I mean, I can, his game that's over. That's overdoing it. But I mean, his game. If he would have got three threes, I understand it. Maybe four. Wow, he had a great game. But eight, that's like he like went crazy. He went crazy this game. So like we're saying, like if he would have just had four threes, you just take 12 points off of the scoreboard, and now you look at what happened here. It would be a tie
yeah,
game, or France would be winning.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a good game to watch, man. Definitely.
Yeah, and like I said, I think France didn't play a great tournament, but listen, they got into the finals, so it wasn't that bad. But I really had hope about just the quality of basketball. I think it's not like they have some chemistry issues there or something like that. But I think it's definitely they didn't play just the best basketball that they're able to play. I saw way better games even in the past, and basically the roster was the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. So I mean, the game is over. So I'm gonna cut the other stream off really quick, just so I won't
yeah,
be killing my thing here. But I'm
yeah.
just
So
gonna
we're not
show a
gonna be
little bit
lighting
here.
up and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
so it's gonna take time, but they know that
it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I mean, you represent your country, man. So
yeah,
you're not just gonna go back to the locker room and jump into your car and drive off. This is a little different. You have to represent your fans that came from wherever they're from. They actually used their passport, got it stamped, and came from France all the way to watch the game. So you
yeah,
have to be there with them just to show that. Listen,
yeah. The
I'm here for you
respect,
guys.
right? So
Yeah, yeah, man.
yeah, listen, that's like I said, that's going to be the case. I'm wondering, for example, if Spain or even France were thinking before the tournament started, listen, if we were to be in the finals, are you going to be enough happy with it? And looking at Team Slovenia, Serbia, and Greece, I think those were the favorites to win it all,
Yeah,
and these two teams made it to the finals. So I think no matter what, they should be happy. Just like for the third spot game, Germany and Poland, I think those teams would literally take that spot before the tournament started.
yeah,
Like any circumstances added to that, I think they will be like happily taking that third and fourth seed. So
right.
after the whole thing's finished.
Yeah, rather
So
than be like, who cares about those guys, man? Who cares about that tournament? That's
yeah,
it's just not the right mentality to have, man. It's
yeah,
just
exactly.
yeah, man. So shout out to anybody that happens to be watching from somewhere other than the Knicks realm. If you're popping in here, taking a look here, if you want to, please go back and take a look at and just hear some of the stuff we're talking about. We were watching the game, but me and Andy were basically just talking, man. So I think you probably can get a lot out of this podcast just listening to us talk European basketball and just the sport in general. Just two guys kicking it as if we're in the bar. I'm telling you, Andy, if I ever see you in person, man, I hope hopefully sooner than later. And I'm telling you, bro, like keep your stomach away from mines. You know what I'm trying to say? But I think that would be like an epic day, man. Definitely, I would love.
Yeah,
I
well,
would love
one
to
day,
see it.
bro, one day it's gonna happen.
Yeah, one day. Anyway, man. So shout out to everybody that popped in. Shout out to everybody that will watch this later on. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to MBK. Shout out to the world peace and all this, man. Anyway, Andy, bye. See you
Salute.
later, man. Salute, brother.